Hey guys, welcome back to an Outerminds stream, and welcome to the Nintendo Direct waiting room. Totally. No, I'm kidding. Today we've got some very chill stuff. We've got the nice little lo-fi music from what's his name? Robbie. And we'll be going over some new footage of Turbo Kid. Yeah, yeah. It's our new game we're working on, and we're pretty proud to show some gameplay finally. We've got like a lot of backgrounds, concept art, all that stuff that's been coming out, but nothing quite like the actual gameplay to sate our appetite. Yeah, I think I'll pause the tuber music a bit, but we won't be doing room reviews today. Just gonna be taking a look at the most recent demo nights that took place. I think it was last Saturday. Yeah. And during which we closed out the show with a showing for Turbo Kid. So if you've been itching to see some of that Turbo Kid stuff, now's the time. Also, if you haven't noticed yet, there's a small giant tiger on the screen, or there was. That is a login reward. We brought the feature back after, what was it? What's it been? A year and a half? It's been a while. But we had to put the feature on ice for a bit while we worked out some of the behind the scenes code for it. But now it's back in full force, and you'll be seeing login rewards every single week. Yeah, you're not gonna get enough of them. we're just gonna keep on pumping them. So let's see. Just gonna make sure it's good. But yeah, the tiger, if you hadn't noticed, was to celebrate the Year of the Tiger. It was bugged. I mean, it was a little bit more than just being bugged, I'll be honest. There was a bit of stuff in the background that just wasn't working and letting us do it. Now, oh yeah, I don't even have the scene open. I really wanted to take a look at the Turbo Kid gameplay with you guys, because I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it. And I mean, I've seen it, naturally. But I think Remy, one of our programmers, did a really solid job of actually like presenting all the things. So we'll take a look at this video in a second. Let me switch. Boom. Also, yeah, tiger up there. Log in for it. Today's the only day you'll be able to get this baby tiger. However, every week, more rewards. Yeah, hell yeah. All right. Let's put a pause to that, and let's take a look at this this Turbo Kid gameplay, shall we? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. All right. Let me know if this video is loud enough, and if it's like not laggy or whatever.
Here in Montreal, they've been making games since 2014. One of their smash hits was Tubersimulator.
That's us. That's us. It's Tubersim. That's you guys.
They've been doing a lot of mobile stuff, but now they're starting to do PC
Hey.
console.
Okay. We've been doing a lot of mobile stuff, but at the same time, our first game was Legend of the Brofist, and that one's on Steam.
Super exciting.
Just wanted to point that out.
Team, and about half of that
a little louder
has been working on Turbo Kid for the past 2 years. And if I'm not
wait, hold up. What did he say?
Been working on. They're a 35-person team.
35-person team.
Staff has been working on Turbo Kid for the past.
I always mix
2 years.
the count up. We always like get new people, get different people. So the count's always been around the 30s, but I guess now it actually is 35.
And if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be launching sometime this year.
Oh, you haven't actually played Brofist on Steam? Well, it's there, and actually, I think last week and the week before that, we had a sale for it from basically. So Demo Nights had a like a sale in tandem with it on Steam. It was like games from Quebec, and it okay, it was on sale for half off, same as it was during the lunar sale. So
Remy from the development team with us. Remy, can you hear me?
that's
Yes.
Remy.
Awesome. I hope I didn't mess up the date for you. I think I got that right. It's later this year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's the plan.
All right, Remy. So like all the other pitches, you're
Did
gonna get
we
your
do
5
the
minutes.
poop game? No, we didn't do poop. That was not us. That was another studio based in what was it? Norway, Sweden? Somewhere over there. Sorry if I don't remember, but yeah, that wasn't us.
To show us some amazing Turbo Kid pixel gore, and then we'll chat a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
We have
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh no. And then I pressed the freaking back key. But this is a gory game, so if you're not a big fan of gore and whatnot, maybe look away. This is definitely a game with a different age rating than Tubersim, so you've been warned. But here
a
we
little
go.
bit afterwards. Are you ready to go?
I am. Let's do this.
Okay. All right, vas-y, Remy.
Welcome, Brad.
Salut tout le monde. Merci d'être avec nous ce soir. Hi everyone.
And yes, Demo Nights and Gameplay Space, all that is both French and English, so you'll see a bit of back and forth from Remy. But if you have a question as to what he said, he translates most of it in this clip. But if you have a question on what he says, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to translate.
Thanks for being here with us tonight. Let's take a look at what we're working on at Outerminds. Turbo Kid is an open Metroidvania game set.
Hold up. Look at that. So like I don't know if you guys noticed, but the backdrops in Turbo Kid have like so much detail. So much. Like I forget which this is, I believe, the skate park. And like the skate park is one of like the giant pieces that we have, like giant set pieces. And like there's multiple of these set pieces in Turbo Kid, so like you'll be able to go between all of them and everything. But I'm getting ahead of him. I just wanted to admire the arts in the background here. Like we've got a big GG in the back. We've got a bunch of scrawlings on the paper, and like all the people doing kickflips and whatnot. It's pretty animated in Turbo Kid.
Turbo
Definitely
Kid
feels alive.
is an open Metroidvania game.
Yeah. Okay. Again, I'll pause a lot, so you better be ready. But like these are basically, to me, they're probably not Bergs, but they kind of look like Berg's siblings. Can you see those? Yeah, like they're just like completely losing their minds. Is it going to be available on mobile? No. Turbo Kid will only be available on Steam and Nintendo Switch. As a part of the Kickstarter, we had like a few Nintendo Switch physical copies, but for the full release, it'll only be a digital version on the Switch.
Set in the Turbo Kid universe. It's in fact meant to be the link between the first movie and the upcoming sequel. It focuses mainly on exploration, action and combat, and of course collect.
So you saw that, right? There's like a small map interaction. Doesn't a Kickstarter tier allow you to put your name on the backdrop? So I believe the tier rewards were there were the bodies, so you could basically get your likeness or your name on a body, like one of the corpses or the carcass, I think that the tier was called. And then there's another tier where you can quite literally have your likeness as an NPC in the background that does something or other. Sorry. And I think all of them include you in the credits as a backer. So yeah, there were quite a few rewards that actually included your name or your display name, however you wanted to be included.
Collecting power-ups and upgrades.
But yeah. So something that was really cool here is like I didn't even know this was a thing we had in here. But you can like
first movie and the upcoming
basically
sequel. It focuses mainly on exploration.
Like, shoot walls and open doors and stuff. That is something I was not
action
aware
and
of.
combat, and of course,
But
collecting
yeah, I'm sure
power-ups
there's a
and
lot
upgrades.
of like puzzle elements in Turbo Kid. While most of it is like Metroidvania, I think um, there's a lot of potential with like the whole bike tricks and whatnot. So it'll be fun for sure. I don't know if you noticed, but the top left here has your like life bar, and I believe the thing under it is your
To get stronger
abilities.
as you go along.
How many of each you
But
can
unlike
use.
most Metroidvanias, which have a typically linear progression, as in you go to area A, you collect the power-up, you go to area B, you collect the power-up, and so on, in our game, you can explore the world in any order that you want. It's really up to you to decide how you want to do things. And a unique feature that we're seeing right here is the bike. The bike is a really important part.
So I don't know if you noticed, but the way the bike just like flew off, like the bike physics in our game are actually on point. They are beyond like here, let me just show you this part again.
Bike.
Okay, that's the wrong button, but so like you see you jump off it and it still has that momentum and it goes flying and then does whatever it interacts with, really. And I think in theory you can use that to your advantage in some situations. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that is something you can do. If not, well, I know that there are some upgrades to the bike that might interact in that way, but it's just kind of cool. Like you can just yeet your bike wherever you want.
The bike is a really important part of the Turbo Kid universe, and it's really featured prominently in the movie, so of course we had to include it in the game. It's not only a cool and fast way to get from point A to point B, but it's also part of the core gameplay mechanics. As you can see here,
I don't know if you can hear it, but in the background there is a bit of the synthwave mix from the Matos, which is the people in question who are making the soundtrack for Turbo Kid. And it's not just like chiptune or whatever, it's like actually like total bangers playing. And I can't wait to like actually hear the full track live, or not live, but like when I play this, because like it is really good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a pretty big fan of synthwave and just that genre.
it can help you reach new areas, and it even features its own upgrades, which we'll see a bit later. And it's just really cool to pull off some sick bike tricks like you just saw there. It's really important for us at Outerminds that we keep the core elements of the movie within the game. That's why we have a very close working collaboration with RKSS, the creators of the Turbo Kid movie, to make sure that we respect their vision while still maintaining a lot of creative freedom to do lots of cool stuff in the game. Like you're gonna see here, the way we deliver narrative elements and story elements is quite unique. One of the core pillars that we have for Turbo Kid is we want to prevent interrupting gameplay as much as possible.
Yeah, so on that note, what he essentially is getting at is like how you are, let's say you're playing any game really, and there's like a scene change and it goes to just a cutscene and like your camera's locked. Most people will be like, oh, skip, right? Well, not everyone, okay? But a lot of people will be like, oh, where's the skip cutscene binder or button? And like, you know, why do that when you could just like physically remove yourself from the cutscene, right? Like, why don't we just use that logic for that problem? So basically, you see what's going on here. You can just technically leave if you wanted to.
So even
what would
when we're
happen?
delivering story elements like you're seeing here, this is not a cutscene where you're just sitting back and watching things happen. This is actually our player.
Is it multiplayer? It is not currently multiplayer as far as I'm aware. It is mostly a single player game. Yeah, exactly. It is a Metroidvania, meaning that if you've played literal Metroid or like Mega Man or like a lot of games on the Game Boy Advance where it's just like, or maybe I'm showing how much of a boomer I am at this point. Not that I am, but like it's a side scroller. Actually, it's like Super Meat Boy. Yeah, like games like that where it's side scrolling, it's on platforms. They typically follow the same single player aspect. Some have co-op, but not in our case, I don't believe.
Moving around and in this interaction. So all the story elements and narrative elements are going to be delivered through playable cutscenes
Yes, I'm
like you're
actually
seeing
50.
here, or through characters or events happening in the world that you can choose to interact with. Or if you're so inclined, you can choose to walk away. So if you want to dig deep into the lore and world building, you absolutely can, and there's a lot of stuff for you to discover, especially if you're a fan of the movie. But if you're more focused on action and exploration, and maybe speedrunning, then you can just move along. It's up to you to decide. So here we're going to see one of the upgrades for the bike that I was talking about earlier. As you can see, our player is having difficulty reaching that the top of that ramp.
And the background NPCs are having a hard time too. I don't know if you saw that. That guy just totally wiped out. You like see over there in the back, man's tried and then just died.
The top of that ramp, but he's going to use one of the upgrades for the bike, which are the spike wheels. Which
Oh yeah, that was pretty fast. But
the top of that ramp.
Boom. He just activated these like spikes that you can add to your bike wheels, which I don't recommend doing IRL because I don't think that will actually, keep you locked down to the ground. But yeah, you can literally add spikes to your wheels to climb walls and stuff. I think you can even go to ceilings with these.
But he's going to use one of the upgrades for the bike, which are the spike wheels, which basically allows you to roll up walls and even onto ceilings for a limited amount of time, of course. It's really helpful to reach new areas and even discover some secret ones. So
There you go. There's some of them Gore guts. If you've played like Happy Wheels and stuff, you'll kind of feel what I'm feeling right now, where like you just it's just an like what is happening. Stuff bursts in Turbo Kid. Like you get a full set of Gore. I don't know what kind of reference we looked at when making this Gore, but actually it might just be from the movie because the movie was pretty helpful for reference. Let's say.
Important part of
you get
Metroidvanias
guts and stuff
is
everywhere.
Action and combat.
So far it's kind of how many bikes were harmed in the making of this game. I think only the one. I think our founder Alex played around on his BMX. But if you've played Happy Wheels, if you've played Trials, if you've played any kind of side-scrolling Metroidvania kind of game, this is definitely like an interesting blend. Those are the games that I'm thinking of when I see this kind of mashup. But it's got its own personality for sure, yeah.
Turbo Kid is going to feature a lot of different types of enemies for you to do battle with, including some bosses. And of course, faithful to the Turbo Kid universe.
Spoiler, that's not a boss. That's just a really annoying enemy who like goes back and forth.
It's also going to feature a lot of gore and juicy bits. If you've seen the movie, you know that they go a little bit silly and over the top with all the gore and visual effects. And this is something that we really wanted to bring back into the game. But don't worry, even if you haven't seen the movie, you really should, by the way, it's really good. But the game is...
You heard him. If you haven't seen the movie, I kind of recommend it. It's not the kind of movie you just want, or maybe it is. Maybe it is a family movie. You just watch it with your family, and everybody will have a good laugh. Will there be bosses? Yeah, of course. Yeah, no. We haven't shown any of the bosses yet, like in a gameplay format, because I don't know. That I think that's a little bit too much on the side of spoilers. So. The bosses are definitely high up there as far as difficulty is concerned. Like you'll probably die a few times. Are there going to be trial game modes like special challenge modes? I believe some of our Kickstarter backer reward levels were actually those kinds of mini games. I think there was a racing mini game. Let's see. I think we have a few on our community. Here, yeah, we've shown a few. So there's the lightning dome where you can just straight up fight other things. There's the slash ball, which is essentially playing baseball with your sword or whatever, your weapon. And we have bike tricks and a bike racing. There's no screenshot for this one, but essentially, yeah, you will be able to race and just do tricks with the bike at some point. It's not just going to be a story. There will be side stuff.
Is meant to stand on its own without even having seen the movie beforehand. So here are the core elements that you need to know about the game. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world of 1997.
How many of you were born in 1997? Or were alive in 1997? I'm curious.
It features gorgeous pixel art and animations. It has over-the-top action and gore. And it's going to feature a brand new soundtrack by Le Matos, who also did the soundtrack for the movie. And it has a huge world for you to explore. The world is 5 zones, each separated into smaller sub-areas. And what we're seeing here tonight is only a small part of one of these sub-areas called the skate park. So as you can imagine, there's going to be a lot more for you to explore and to discover once the game launches. Speaking of which, the game is set to launch by the end of this year on PC and Switch. But you can already wishlist it on Steam, and you can check out turbokidgame.com for more info. Donc le jeu va sortir d'ici la fin de l'année sur PC et Switch.
Nice,
déjà le rajouter
pipe
à votre wishlist sur Steam.
It's a great place to practice your tricks for sure here.
Pour plus d'informations. Merci beaucoup. Nous avons vraiment hâte que vous ayez le jeu.
I forget what that one is. Oh, you almost made it to the ceiling there. I thought, there you go. There is a brief moment of stealing gameplay, if you caught that. But yeah, there is a Steam wishlist. The game is listed on Steam, so if you are still not wishlisted or haven't wishlisted it yet, it is available. Here, I'll get you a link. Here it is. If you haven't wishlisted it, there it is. Go for it. It'll be out later this year. And here, let's see. We got a nice splash of gore. You've got so this is a little sus. I think this is like caught mid-flight, but he doesn't have the spikes on his wheels. And yeah, the way the gore plays, there just bursts out. It'll go flying. Everything is meant to go flying. I wonder if we have. Oh, this is the kid being, let's say, bullied by what's her name, Becca. Is it going to be free? No, Turbo Kid will be a retail purchase, so like a one-time purchase thing. But I think, let's see, what was Brofist priced around? I think it'll be a little bit more than that, but still fairly reasonable. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've got I don't know if you noticed, but we have barrels here. There are quite a few references to other Outerminds games just all over the place in Turbo Kid, because after all, we are making it. So there's a little bit of a meshing between both the IP itself, like Turbo Kid in general, that universe, and the Outerminds universe. And to give you a little bit more of a lore perspective, the game is set between the two movies, one being Turbo Kid, and then 2 coming out, I believe, next or eventually. I don't think there's even a date. It's coming at some point. Is there a Bob? I don't know that there is Bob, but I do know there is Berg. There are quite a few Bergs, I think. I think he's in the sewers as well, or it's the skate park. But a lot of the graffitis are where we've chosen to put those Easter eggs. If you're not a part of the Turbo Kid Discord, we have a lot of the a lot of images of like locales and whatnot on there. One of them is literally Berg, like about to burst, almost like he's being filled with air or something. I don't know. It's pretty gory or gruesome at least, but I'll get you guys a link so that you can always really have an idea of the kind of stuff that's coming every time we post little updates. We should be having what was it? I believe we're going to have some news related to like gameplay in not the near future, but in a few months. But you will put, I believe, not earlier, but later this year, you will be able to play the game before it's out if you've backed the game to a certain point. So depending on how much backed, whatever tier you were, just keep an eye out, because you'll probably get some emails and whatnot asking you for some info on participation for these things. Let's see. So that was the Steam page. Got a bit more of the gore in action. Yep. Okay, that's like a gore montage. I think we should do a few more of those gore montages. Let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see of Turbo Kid, and I think could probably work something out with our video team. Also, that's an interesting GIF. You have the kid in, I think this is the kid in a cutscene, and you also choosing to ignore the cutscene. So like the cutscene's happening while you're doing something else, but you're dying. So are you actually dying? What was the name of the 3 girls in the game? Oh yeah, because we had done a contest on our Discord for people to decide the names for certain characters. If you weren't aware, we ran a few, or I believe there was the one contest very early on. We gave a set of 5 combinations for the sisters. I believe they were called the what was it? The Roadkill sisters, I believe, is what it ended up being. And 3 was the one that won by quite a large margin, and that was Frankie, Joanne, Anouk, and they were called the Roadkill sisters. I don't think there were any issues with the actual like picking of the names, but yeah. Oh yeah, there is a boss, as a matter of fact, in or I believe she's a boss. Or she's a boss in different ways for sure. But there's some highlights of a boss. There are some pictures of what's it called? This, not side characters, but the not the background characters, but the cast. Anyways, you can go through that that Discord and have a nice little read through all the stuff that's going on in development. Updates are basically weekly there as well. So like we've got weekly stuff coming to Tuber, we've got weekly stuff coming to Turbo Kid. We're keeping up the communication with you guys as much as we possibly can. As much as we'd like to just splurge and share literally every detail about the game, there is a lot that we aren't sharing, but for good reason. It is a story game, a narrative game, so we are going to be avoiding spoilers as much as possible. But if you ever have any questions about a setting or what have it, really, feel free to ask it in our community Discord, and I'd be more than happy to ping the right people on my end to get you a dev response. Yeah, I think that wrapped up the demo nights video.
It's like the Turbo Kid universe. It feels so perfect for games. I mean, because I'm not sure how many people have seen it. I mean, maybe the Quebecois viewers. Why do you think that the Turbo Kid was such a kind of a instant cult classic?
It's a really cool movie with lots of, gore and visual effects that are really interesting. But at its core, it's really a really funny movie with like a lot of heart. The story is really about friendship, and I know it's really silly, but it's also really endearing. So it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, like he said, it's endearing. Therefore, it is a family movie. Bring all your just bring the kids and the parents into the living room and watch Turbo Kid. It's the best thing you can do to connect. Will the second movie be out before the game? No, actually, the movie will come after the game, and literally after the game as well. The game is both canonically and IRL-ly. It will come out before the second movie to bridge the gap between the first and the second movie. And who knows? maybe there'll be some involvement in the second movie with the game of some kind. Who knows? Who knows? That's just my speculation.
It's a zombie love story.
Yeah, exactly.
But tell us a little bit more about the partnership with the producers and how that came about. Yeah, I'm just curious to know more.
Well, Giz, as you know him, Giz is one of our co-founders, and he's actually friends with members of RKSS, which are the creators of Turbo Kid that actually did a movie. So once upon
there's a good point here I want to touch on, and that's that Giz tends to be very, or rather, Outerminds in general, we tend to sometimes be very random about when we go live, and sometimes Giz is actually streaming whatever we have in mind, like then and there on his own channel, Jeu Sérieux. Jeu Sérieux, I think that's the full name, but the link is also in our Turbo Kid Discord. Who knows? Maybe at some point this year, before launch, he will be streaming it in some capacity. So if you're curious and you want to talk directly to our devs who are probably going to be in that chat, it's a good idea to keep an eye out for his streams.
Upon a time.
And I will be playing this on this channel for sure. You will get a fresh view perspective of the game as well, because as much as I want to play test the game, I'm not QA, but I would. But I also want to keep that fresh experience for when it does release. It's so hard because you're like looking at everything that's being done to the game, and then you kind of want to play it before it's done, but then you want to play it when it's done so that it's finished. Anyways, I can ramble on.
They were chatting up in Arcade Montreal, a local bar here, and they were so excited. They started brainstorming and pitching ideas, and they were so excited about it. They started talking really loudly, like, yeah, we should make a game. And somebody came up to them and said, well, you know that secret project that you're talking about? Well, it's not that secret because you're talking so loudly, everybody here can hear it. So it was like a collaboration that started that.
Not so secret. Yeah, that's that's a thing here at Outerminds. We should like to spoil some things before they're out for sure.
Way, and then
I linked the video in the chat,
and it's really
if you want to go
super cool
check
partnership. RKSS are a bunch of gamers that are into old school games, and Metroidvania is like their favorite type of game, so it was just a perfect match for us.
Well, and
you know, it's a good point. I'd like to also touch on that. Working with people who are also just as passionate about what you're creating is very helpful to developers in general, and just being able to talk about it, because when the visions align, like the producers of whatever IP it might be, so in this case for Turbo Kid, and the devs who are making an adaptation, it really helps when they're both on the same wavelength. This is the way like our founders and devs are with RKSS and Rematos in this case, and also Vibe, who are working on the audio. It really helps when to like blend everything together and keep everything going very smoothly, and that's why it's gonna be like really cool when this comes out later this year, because you'll have a nice like finished product. Man, it's weird to say that in 2022, huh? Like a finished product. But yeah,
I mean, it's so great to hear that, and it's also funny, but meaning this wasn't some business deal. Let's grab a brand and slap it on a game so we can make some money. I mean, it really is a partnership, and I'm guessing that the producers are like right there in the design and helping you with the creative process.
Yes, as I mentioned, we have a really close collaboration with RKSS, and like they approve all the dialogues and all the narrative elements that we put in the game, but they are gamers themselves, so they allow us a lot of creative freedom to put some more video gamey elements like that make sense within a video game but might not make that much sense within the movies. So it's really a cool partnership. They are really into the games, and like it shows that it's something that they hold dear, and we are also as passionate about Turbo Kid as they are.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think the best example for this, or not the best example, but one of a really good example is of the mini games, the side stuff. You wouldn't necessarily see bike racing leagues, /bog leagues happening in the movie or like immediate extended universe, but like you would in the game because it makes sense, right? We have some very fun mechanics that like you can just throw into an arena and go ham with, you know. You're gonna force Sword to play the game because you should. Uh, I mean, if Sword King would like to play the game, I would be happy to see watch him and his super radio voice play the game for sure. It would be interesting. He has a very calm demeanor when it comes to presenting his videos and his content, but this game isn't very relaxing, or at least it shouldn't be relaxing. You are like spewing guts everywhere and gore, so
nice. Now, Outerminds as a studio, you're well known for engaging with content creators and streamers. What's the plan there with Turbo Kid? I mean, you have this sort of interesting thing that it's a universe that already exists. It's a movie that is known. What's that engagement look like with the content creator community?
Well, of course, like, you know, as I mentioned, Giz is a big streamer. I'm sure most of you here know of Je Sais Here, which is a big Twitch channel from Quebec. And we also have a collaboration with Emma Films, which produces the movie Turbo Kid. And as I mentioned at the beginning of my talk, there's a second movie that's coming out. So we are planning to really like aim our game to be the kind of bridge that bridges the gap between the first movie and the upcoming sequel, to make sure that like people stay engaged with the brand and promote it as much as we can.
Nice. So
in both ways, like we promote the movie and the movie promotes the game, and it's a really cool partnership in that way.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Well, as you said, you can already go to Steam to wishlist the game. So yes. I encourage everyone to do that.
And before we go off, I just want to take a few moments to share a bit of love here. I want to say a big thank you to Gameplay Space and Loto Quebec, to all the animators and all the people behind the scenes making this happen. This is such a great event. Really, thank you so much. And also a big congrats to all the devs that showed games this year. Like, what an amazing bunch of games. I can't wait to play all of these.
Awesome.
Yeah, there was a really, the Nights in general was a really cool event. There's probably a few games that you know of that were presented there, and I definitely invite you to go check out the their page for all those games. I personally am really looking forward to I think it was Sea of Stars, but yeah, no, we're happy to participate in it, and who knows, maybe we'll have another event feature somewhere down the line in this year, maybe later in the year. So nothing too recent, nothing like today's Nintendo Direct or whatever, but maybe something later for sure. If you have any pressing questions or feedback, I'd love to hear whatever you thought of the Turbo Kid gameplay feature. We've got a lot more to show in the near future, and it's gonna be really cool. But the best place to share that is on our Turbo. I was gonna say Tubersim, but like all these the Turbo Discord, Turbo Kid Discord, the Turbo Sim. Okay, we're merging the two. That's it. It's official. No, I'm kidding. But if you join the Turbo Kid Discord, chat there. Be happy to talk some more about the game. Maybe show some gameplay here and there. We will be having, or rather, I will be hosting another stream for Tubersimulator in we like our tease, yeah, Tuber Kid. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a Turbo Kid feature in Tubersim. That could be cool. We haven't planned anything like that, but the idea just came to mind. But yeah, another stream will happen in the next couple weeks for sure. For Tubersim, bring your brooms, bring your A game, and you will leave with some bucks potentially. Yeah, or maybe something else. Maybe I don't know. Not a discontinued trophy, but a trophy that isn't given often. Yeah, how about that? Well, we'll see you next time. Yeah, Tuber Kid. We like our teas. Yeah, Outerminds, whatever. Okay. I'll see you guys in a few weeks. And as a reminder, there is a log award for Tubersim. Be sure to sign in today to get your oh, I'm not the admin of the network, but be sure to log in to get your little tiger here, this guy. Here's a few more of the login rewards. Words escape me. And these are from past events, or the past login rewards, but there will be a new login reward every week. So with that, I am your community manager LP, and I will be signing off. Ciao.